Finding the courage, Rentaro Aijo confesses to his longtime crush. She admits she likes him too, but suddenly feels sick about dating him. Rentaro is crushed. Walking home with his friend, Rentaro learns that this is his 100th rejection. His friend teases him, wondering how he's managed this feat just out of middle school. Rentaro remembers his first attempt at love at just 8 months old. He longs for the joy of having a girlfriend, but it eludes him. His friend, puzzled, asks why Rentaro keeps getting rejected. He has good looks and good grades. Rentaro grows more frustrated. His friend says goodbye, wishing him luck in high school. Rentaro visits a shrine and prays for a high school girlfriend. Suddenly, a voice sounds and a face appears from the donation box. A winged man emerges, claiming that he's the god of love. The shrine deity declares that Rentaro will meet his soulmate in high school, except that there will be 100 soulmates. Rentaro is pleased but warns the shrine god that he'll destroy the shrine if this isn't true. 1 month later, the first day of high school arrives. Rentaro heads to the classroom. He bumps into 2 radiant girls, Karana Inda and Hanazono Hakari. A shock jolts through him as their eyes meet. He wonders if they're the soulmates the god promised. He hurriedly helps them up, but Hakari feigns a twisted ankle, asking for his assistance. Rentaro's heart aches at the thought of hurting his soulmate. Hakari grows drawn to his kindness. Inda, not wanting to lose, also pretends to be injured. Rentaro blames himself. The girls concerned stand up. Rentaro is astonished but plays along. He escorts them to the nurse's office, feeling carried along by their whims. The girls pretend to lose balance and playfully tussle over him, ultimately clinging to him as they continue. Rentaro introduces himself. They're all in the same class. 2 other girls mention a field of pink 4-leaf clovers in the courtyard, guaranteeing a positive response when asking someone out. Inda and Hakari dash off, leaving Rentaro bemused by their sudden recovery. 3 hours after school, Rentaro stays to help a teacher find his contact lens. He wonders if he'll see the girls again. He spots them in the courtyard. Inda searches for a 4-leafed clover. Rentaro approaches her. Startled, Inda hides her intentions. Rentaro notices Hakari's absence and offers Inda a drink. Too shy, she hesitates but then snatches it. She thanks him but insists she can't go home yet. Rentaro realizes she's a tsundere. Hakari returns. Rentaro offers her a drink. Hakari wants an indirect kiss. She asks to share, insisting she can't finish alone. Rentaro agrees and takes a sip. Hakari spills it in excitement. She confesses her love, urging a quick response. Rentaro is elated but can't reply before Inda returns with drinks. Inda grows angry, demanding Hakari wait her turn. Rentaro is pleased to hear Inda's feelings. She denies it but eventually confesses. They press for a decision. He asks them to wait until the next day. The next day, Rentaro can't make up his mind. He visits the shrine, and the deity confirms both are his soulmates. Rentaro wonders how others handle this. The deity reveals a mistake. Rentaro has 100 soulmates, not 1. The deity warns that without their true love, the girls will perish. Rentaro feels doomed but gets an idea: reject both and secretly date them. The next morning, the girls find Rentaro distressed. He reveals his desire to date both. Inda is shocked. Rentaro confesses his love, vowing to make them happy. The girls almost reject him, but he presents pink 4-leaf clovers. Inda scoffs, but Hakari believes. Inda refuses a 2-timing relationship, and Rentaro explains his intentions. Hakari agrees, believing it's better than rejection. Inda teases her. Rentaro swears to cherish both, but wonders about his other 98 soulmates. Rentaro, overwhelmed with joy, is caught talking to a pole about having finally got a girlfriend. Inda and Hakari arrive, with Inda questioning his peculiar behavior. Embarrassed, Rentaro explains his happiness, and Inda blushingly suggests he talk to her instead. Hakari takes Rentaro's hand, causing Inda to feel a pang of jealousy. Rentaro, ever the diplomat, takes Inda's hand as well, and the 3 walk together, their happiness evident. At school, they see a boy running from the vice principal. Hakari notes the vice principal's strictness and her unusual punishment, a kiss upon capture. Rentaro shudders at the thought, and Hakari warns that escape is impossible due to the vice principal's athletic prowess. Curiosity piqued, Hakari asks Rentaro about his kissing history. He confesses they are his first girlfriends, his first kiss, yet unclaimed. Realization dawns on Hakari and Inda. The first to act will secure his initial embrace. Competitive spirits kindle, tension sparking between them. At lunch, the trio shares their meal. Inda, distracted by a cat, doesn't notice Hakari offering an egg roll to Rentaro. Tears of joy fill his eyes at the taste, sparking envy in Inda. She reveals her homemade cookies, eager to feed him. A clumsy attempt leads to a cookie crumbling into his eye. Still, he savors it, declaring it divine. Not to be outdone, Hakari produced a dainty pastry from a nearby bakery. Pondering how to feed him without sullying her hands, she opted for a more intimate approach, delicately holding the treat between her lips. Rentaro's heart fluttered at her adorable audacity. Hakari playfully nibbled the snack, inching closer, while Inda, not wanting to be left out, joined in, only to inadvertently poke his other eye. Noticing his reddened eyes, Inda fretted over his health, fearing a cold. Abruptly, she embraced him, insisting he could pass on his ailment to her. She leaned in for a kiss, but Hakari intervened, suggesting a familial tradition of lip-to-lip temperature checking. Yeah, right. Inda, however, had other plans, attempting to render Rentaro unconscious for a dramatic mouth-to-mouth revival. A scuffle breaks out as the girls vie for Rentaro's affection. He confesses his desire to kiss them, but Hakari insists he choose who will be first, reigniting their rivalry. Rentaro stops their quarrel and presents his plan for a mysterious first kiss using masks and dice to determine positions, keeping him unaware of their identities. Hakari is enthusiastic, but Inda is skeptical. Rentaro makes a solemn pinky promise to reassure her. As they start the game, a mischievous wind lifts Inda's skirt, leading to a comedic misunderstanding where Inda attacks Rentaro. Their attempts to resume the plan fail amidst more chaotic mishaps. Frustration mounts, and Inda criticizes the plan, leading to a heated argument with Hakari over Rentaro. Rentaro watches his plan unravel, but laughs at the absurdity and passion of their escapade. He stops the brewing competition, taking the blame, and calls the vice principal, who appears to punish him. Inda intervenes, and Hakari feigns spotting a school inspector, sending the vice principal away. The girls question Rentaro's hastiness. He confesses his love for both, wanting them to get along. Moved, the girls offer to step aside, urging him to kiss the other. Rentaro suggests a three-way kiss, and despite initial hesitation, they agree. Their first kiss unfolds, sealing their unique bond. The next day, the trio is at the library. Hakari and Inda argue over cookbooks. Rentaro intervenes, reminding them of their shared kiss. Embarrassment flushes their cheeks. Rentaro browses nearby shelves, his gaze meeting another girl. A spark ignites, leaving him bewildered and intrigued. The air crackles with unspoken potential, hinting at another soulmate's presence. Fate seems to have more in store. The girl reveals herself as the librarian, communicating through phrases in her book. Rentaro initially thinks speaking is forbidden. She asks about his interests, and he requests a humorous story. Misunderstanding his silence, she apologizes and offers to find someone else to help. Rentaro stops her, asking for her assistance. He seeks a romance with a happy ending, and she presents a mountain of books. Apologetic, she suggests he choose a few, but Rentaro insists on taking them all. However, at checkout, he finds his library card isn't ready, leaving him unable to borrow the books. That night, Rentaro reads a tale of a princess and her loyal knight. The knight vows to protect her, even from dragons, and to develop mutual feelings. However, the princess is betrothed to another. The knight wants to defy fate, and Rentaro roots for them, but the story ends on a cliffhanger, leaving him in suspense. The next day, Rentaro thanks Shizuka for the book, noticing she brought the sequel. Grateful, he seeks a way to repay her. He buys her a drink, and they discuss the story outside. Shizuka shares that it's her favorite, impressing Rentaro with her intricate knowledge. She's relieved he doesn't find her odd, confessing she's never had a real friend. Inspired, Rentaro asks to borrow the first book again, an idea forming in his mind. We see that Shizuka tomorrow has brought the third book for Rentaro, but he doesn't show up even after a few days. As she walks around the school, she notices Rentaro with Hakari and Inda. They know how sleepy he looks, and he says he's been busy at night. The girls think about what he could be up to, but Rentaro continues to yawn. Hakari suddenly kisses Rentaro, offering her energy. He embraces her, calling her his angel. Inda, not to be outdone, attempts a kiss, but ends up headbutting him. Shizuka, witnessing this, assumes Rentaro is too busy to read. She recalls past rejections, her mother's pleas for normalcy, and feels alone. Rentaro finds her, eager to repay her kindness. He installs an app on her phone, revealing a digital copy of the first book he manually typed. The app allows her to select words and play them as speech. He explains that this way they can converse face-to-face, no longer needing the book as an intermediary. Shizuka tries the app, blurting out that she loves him, determined to overcome any obstacles. He introduces her to the others, asking to include her as his newest girlfriend. Inda is incredulous, but Hakari is grateful for his unchanged feelings. Rentaro explains that his love for them is like an oil field, with Shizuka being a new discovery, not diminishing his feelings for the others. He vows to prove his commitment, even jokingly threatening seppuku if he fails, having ordered a special knife from Amazon. Inda accepts and Rentaro's girlfriend count continues to grow to 3. Still, 97 soulmates remain. Rentaro tells Hakari and Inda about Shizuka, telling them that she has a cute mannerism while reading books where she moves her toes like a puppy's tail and it expresses how she feels. He reveals that Hakari also has a cute habit where she bites on her fingers while thinking, and he admits that this turns him on. He adds that when Inda is trying to brush off a compliment, she twirls her hair with her fingers, and he finds this adorable. They are surprised to find that he was able to notice their behavior, thinking he must really care about them. He goes on to describe how Hakari and Inda behave while they're kissing, but this causes Shizuka to lose her composure as she realizes that he has already kissed them. Hakari wonders if she is also interested in kissing, but she tells them that she's saving her first kiss for her marriage. Rentaro says that it's okay, saying he won't kiss her until she's ready. As Inda watches her, waiting for her to kiss him, nothing happens. They feed Rentaro lunch, but Inda becomes angry because Hakari won't let her feed him. As the girls vie for Rentaro's affection, stuffing his mouth with food, Shizuka watches quietly. Rentaro notices her reserve, understanding she needs time to adjust. He reflects on how people often hide their true selves out of fear of judgment. Once feelings are revealed, he muses, there's no need for pretense anymore. Opening up becomes easier with someone who already knows your heart. Rentaro suggests a card game where the loser gets tickled by the winner, hoping to foster friendship through laughter. The girls, eager for his touch, intentionally lose. In the first round, Rentaro tickles Inda, who enjoys it a bit too much. In the second round, Hakari is tickled but stops him, fearing she might wet herself. In the third round, Shizuka uses her device to convey laughter as Rentaro tickles her. Inda and Hakari, realizing Rentaro hasn't lost yet, become determined to win and tickle him back. Shizuka wins the fourth round, making Rentaro the loser. Instead of tickling, she playfully pokes him, making him laugh. Hakari watches, puzzled by Shizuka's restraint. She reflects on her own behavior and concludes that Shizuka isn't a greater threat than Inda. After the game, Rentaro excuses himself to the bathroom. Inda confronts Shizuka, noting her distance from Rentaro. Shizuka explains that she's a newcomer and doesn't want to intrude. Inda, annoyed, reminds her that she's also Rentaro's girlfriend and needn't hold back. Shizuka apologizes, further irritating Inda, who urges her to fight back. Shizuka confesses her fears. Hakari's charm and Inda's confidence intimidate her. She worries Rentaro will compare her unfavorably. Her honesty hangs in the air, awaiting their response. They start to take a liking to her, thinking she's adorable, but she thinks she is nothing compared to them. Hakari assures her that Rentaro can see the beauty in her, recognizing her as a fellow girlfriend. Rentaro observes them, thinking that his plan went better than expected. We learned that when Shizuka was poking him, he realized that Inda was glaring at her. He thought that Inda wanted to fight her, but he believed that he should give them the chance to display their emotions. He's proud of how the girls handled the situation and returns to them as Inda tells him that Shizuka should tickle him again because she was holding back, and Hakari encourages her to go for it. Shizuka, realizing their support, approaches Rentaro requesting a kiss. They share a tender moment, leaving her flustered. Hakari, feeling inadequate compared to Shizuka, seeks reassurance. Rentaro affirms his love for his girlfriends, all of them, kissing Hakari gently. Turning to Inda, he playfully asks if she wants a kiss. She feigns disinterest, but positions herself eagerly. He finds her flustered state adorable, and despite her playful punches, he kisses her too. Overwhelmed, Rentaro feels unworthy of such amazing girlfriends. They, in turn, express their mutual admiration, each feeling lucky to have him in their lives. The day after, Rentaro enters the classroom where he meets a girl named AI Nano. He tells her that the exam results have been posted, asking her if she's going to check it out, but she tells him that it's a waste of time, knowing she has secured the number 1 spot. As their eyes meet, they feel a shocking sensation, so he thinks that she must be one of his soulmates. Rentaro reviews the test results with his girlfriends, discovering they all performed well. To his surprise, Nano secured a perfect score. Intrigued, he inquires about her. The girls describe Nano as a total nerd, rumored to be inhumanly intelligent, capable of answering any question. During biology class, Rentaro is paired with Nano. He notes her elegance distinct from his girlfriend's. Observing her copy answers from the textbook, she dismisses practical exams as pointless, stating that scientists already know the outcomes. Rentaro warns Nano about the professor's gaze. She uses the microscope but focuses on her textbook, deeming it more efficient. He notes her robotic behavior. As he slices the specimen, he cuts his finger and considers visiting the nurse. Nano, however, tells him there's no need. She takes his finger into her mouth, causing him to panic. Nano explains that saliva is a natural disinfectant, which confuses Rentaro. After class, Rentaro thanks Nano, but she admits she only needed help cleaning. He invites her out, but she dismisses it as a waste of time, seeing no value or future benefit. Rentaro argues that fun is life's meaning, but Nano calls him delusional and accuses him of wasting her time. He begins to doubt if she's truly his soulmate. That evening, Nano reflects on why she helped Rentaro, acknowledging her feelings for him as a distraction. She tries to refocus by writing the exact value of pi, covering her board and countless papers, but it fails to restore her concentration. She realizes she's wasting time and recognizes this as a problem. The next day, Nano confesses her love to Rentaro, asking him to be her boyfriend. He eagerly agrees, but she declines, leaving him confused. She explains her belief that teenage romance is meaningless, leading only to marriage and pregnancy. She vows never to date him, but Rentaro, undeterred, professes his love and asks for a chance to win her over. A few days later, they visit an amusement park, and Rentaro is determined to convince Nano that love is meaningful, but she thinks that the activity is pointless, wondering why they're even doing it. She notes that he's holding on to an instant camera, knowing that it doesn't retain any data, so she thinks it's a flawed device. He tells her to say cheese, but she asks him what he means, and he takes the picture anyways. They enter a haunted house, and Nano says that she doesn't believe in ghosts as the ghosts try to scare them. She maintains her composure, saying they're only humans, so she wonders why Rentaro is afraid. She says that the haunted house is full of humans, so they should call it a human house instead. Fair point, Nano. As they ride the giant teacups, Nano deems the creator insane, questioning the appeal of being spun around. In the maze, she ponders the point of dead ends, seeing them as unnecessary obstacles. At the Ferris wheel, she admits her fear of heights, though. Rentaro sits beside her, their hands clasped tightly. They look at all the pictures they took, and Nano admits that she had fun but still thinks that it's a meaningless day. So Rentaro decides to burn the photo, saying they should erase it from their memories. But as he is about to burn it, Nano recalls that the camera doesn't store data, so they will lose all records of the event. She takes the photos, and Rentaro tells her she was afraid of losing them because she gained something of value. She starts crying as he tells her that enjoying good times makes their lives meaningful. She uses his handkerchief to wipe her tears, telling him that she will disinfect it before she returns it, and he wonders if she will use her saliva again, but she tells him that she will wash it. She says that she wants him to be her boyfriend because she wants to spend more meaningful times with him, and Rentaro tells her that he loves her. Nano kisses Rentaro, vowing to fulfill her desires. He introduces her to the others, who accept her without objection. Rentaro promises to commit seppuku if he fails them, but Nano suggests poison instead. Hakari, jealous of their theme park outing, proposes a water park visit, eager for a beach episode. They arrive at the pool where Rentaro sees the girls wearing swimsuits, and he is overjoyed at the sight, thinking he can die happy now. But Inda arrives with a strange dress, so he panics because it looks like she doesn't have a swimsuit at all. Inda, feeling cold, decides to stay by the pool. Nano directs her to a sunny spot, but Inda, misunderstanding Nano's bluntness, becomes upset and tells her to go away. Nano, unfazed, reiterates her indifference towards her, further irritating Inda. They enter the whirlpool, where Shizuka spins uncontrollably on her floater. Nano tries to swim against the current, but Rentaro stops her as Hakari clings to him. Nano and Hakari vie for Rentaro's attention, causing him to pass out. Hakari administers mouth-to-mouth, relishing the moment. Nano intervenes, and they argue. Meanwhile, Shizuka struggles in the water and ends up stranded on an island in the whirlpool. Nano suggests finding a lifeguard. As they run around the pool, a group of men catcall them. One man reaches out to Hakari, but Nano stops him and pokes his eyes, efficiently disposing of the pervert. His friends become upset, so they try to intimidate Nano, and she tells them that she will hang out with him so that Hakari can look for a lifeguard to save Rentaro. Nano decides to help Hakari escape, but Hakari insists Nano come along, acknowledging Rentaro's feelings for both. A man reaches for Hakari, but Rentaro intervenes, claiming both girls as his girlfriends. Disbelieving, the guy challenges Rentaro to kiss both. Nano and Hakari comply, proving Rentaro's claim and leaving the man stunned. The men freak out, realizing he's a Giga Chad, and decide not to mess with him. Hakari wonders how Rentaro was able to recover. We learned that Inda saw the incident so that she was about to make her way to Hakari and Nano, but saw Rentaro along the way, thinking he was already dead. She tells him not to die because Nano and Hakari are in trouble, so he suddenly regains consciousness and rushes to help them. Rentaro thanks Inda and Nano for their help and expresses his care for Nano. He then realizes Shizuka is still in the pool and rushes to her aid. Shizuka, unable to swim, screams for help using her own voice. Rentaro finds her, expresses relief, and carries her away. She kisses him, causing him to blush. Later, Rentaro takes a break and invites Inda to join him. He notices her lack of confidence in her swimsuit and reassures her that she looks great. To prove his point, he removes her dress, revealing her swimsuit, and sincerely compliments her. Inda, touched by his words, decides to join everyone in the pool, and they enjoy the rest of the day together. As they passed by the chemistry lab on their way back to the school, Rentaro saw a girl. A shocking sensation coursed through him as their eyes met, and he instantly knew she was one of his soulmates. The next day, he returned to the lab, hoping to find her again. Instead, he encountered a peculiar girl named Yakuzen Kusuri, who introduced herself as a member of the chemistry club. She offered him tea in a beaker, explaining that she had just finished developing a drug. Rentaro declined her invitation to join the club, but Kusuri insisted he drink the tea and wait. She presented her latest creation, a human magnet medicine. Despite the drug's impressive effects, Kusuri warned him about the side effect: 3 days of constipation. She then revealed that she'd taken a drug with an opposite pole, causing their bodies to attract each other. Get it? Like magnets. Unfazed by the strong magnetism, Kusuri maintained her composure, knowing the effect would last only 10 minutes. However, when she mentioned needing to use the restroom, Rentaro panicked. Kusuri calmly explained that she was wearing diapers, and after the effect wore off, she shared her dream of creating new drugs and revealed she had fallen in love with him at first sight. Rentaro started to have feelings for her, but threw up when he learned she'd given him a love potion. Kusuri cried, thinking he disliked her, but he explained he didn't want to be drugged when accepting his feelings. As his body tried to reject the drug, Kusuri administered a neutralizer through a desperate mouth-to-mouth transfer. After recovering, Rentaro confesses his feelings for Kusuri, who reveals her true form as the soulmate he saw earlier. She explains that a failed immortality drug transformed her into a childlike state. Rentaro agrees to date her and introduces her to his other girlfriends. Despite initial misunderstandings, they accept Kusuri, who shares various drugs with mixed and comedic results. Kusuri shares her dream of joining a research team to create amazing drugs. Chaos ensues when the girls accidentally ingest a drug meant for Rentaro, turning them into kiss-hungry zombies. Kusuri realizes her mistake and warns Rentaro to run, explaining that the drug intensifies their desire to kiss men, making them super strong and relentless. She urgently tells him that they need the reversing drug within an hour before the girls' personalities are permanently erased. As they fled, Kusuri suggested heading to the chemistry lab, but the zombies blocked their path. Kusuri considered using a face-melting drug against them, but Rentaro dissuaded her, opting for a detour instead. However, they encountered the vice principal, who, after a bizarre face-melting drug mishap, revealed her true form and crawled away in embarrassment. The Kiss zombies strategized and split up to surround Rentaro. He told Kusuri to head to the lab while he drew their attention. Shizuka chased after him but tripped, hitting her head. Rentaro took her to the infirmary, only to realize she was still a zombie. She took him down, kissing him repeatedly. He pushed her away, promising to cure her and continue to evade the other zombies. Inda launched Hakari at him, causing him to fall. They pinned him down and started kissing him, but he noticed them arguing and tricked them into kissing each other. He dashed away only to encounter Nano in the lab. He hid in a locker, but Kusuri was already inside, having hidden from Nano earlier. Kusuri blames herself for their situation, admitting her experiments often cause trouble. She finds a dose of the reversing drug but is tied up by Nano. Rentaro panics, then spots the drug and forms a plan. He lures Nano away and hides, but she destroys the door and starts kissing him. Just as he thinks it's over, Kusuri administers the drug, causing Nano to pass out. They then cured the other zombies, who woke up in the infirmary with hazy memories. Hakari and Inda pretended to have lost their memories, and Rentaro played along. Kusuri apologized for the ordeal, but Rentaro reassured her, advising her not to give up on her research. Everyone goes to a flower park for a bouquet toss event, where the winning couple gets a special photo shoot dressed as a married couple. Hakari is eager to win, as she's always wanted to wear a wedding dress. They decided to work together and draw lots for the photo shoot. Rentaro suggests Shizuka stay back due to her size, and Kusuri participates in her original form. Rentaro creates a flag for his team, the Rentaro family. The announcer introduces the vice principal, who wants to ruin everyone's happiness by throwing the bouquet with incredible force. The game begins, and the guerrilla gang attacks the other participants, claiming they're just training, quote-unquote. The announcer allows it, and the gang's leader uses her members to knock people out. Hakari is almost hit, but Inda protects her, deciding to join the fight. She grapples with the leader, allowing the others to focus on the bouquet. As it falls, the gang uses their flags to change its directions. Shizuka, launched upward by the wind, grabs the bouquet but is about to fall. The girls try to catch her, and Rentaro worries they'll get hurt. However, Shizuka bounces off their chests, absorbing the impact, and Rentaro catches her safely. The Rentaro family wins the event, and they begin drawing lots for the photo shoot. Hakari has a plan, marking the winning stick with a tiny cut. She intends to wait for the right moment to draw it, but underestimates Nano, who suggests everyone draw at once for efficiency. Despite her plan's failure, Hakari still wins and is overjoyed that her dream is about to come true. She sees Kusuri crying because she really wants to join the photo shoot, so Hakari tells her that she can take her place. Kusuri is grateful for this but changes her mind, saying she wants two of her favorite people to be in the photo. Hakari tells everyone to join, and they take a picture together. She thanks Rentaro for making her dream come true but tells him to break up with her and doesn't give him any explanation. Later that day, he wonders what's wrong with her and wants to talk to her, but he realizes that she's already left them. He tries to call her, but she won't pick up. So he decides to look for her house, revealing that her address is written on the envelope that she sent him. They learn that she lives in a mansion, and he calls out to her, but she tells him to be quiet as a guard arrives, wondering where the noise came from. He manages to hide and receives a call from an unknown number. He realizes it's Hakari, and she tells him that she no longer loves him, but he knows she's lying. She says he won't leave until he knows the truth, so she tells him that her mother, Hahari, is against their relationship because he has too many girlfriends. She explains that her phone was taken away and she's about to leave the town, saying Hahari is going to use her money to get what she wants. Hakari thinks that she can never be with him. Hahari suddenly arrives and takes the phone, telling him to stay away from Hakari as she threatens to get rid of him. A guard restrains him, recognizing him as Hakari's ex-boyfriend and telling him to give up because he can never be with her. Rentaro walks away, thinking there's nothing special about him, so he doesn't deserve to be with Hakari. However, he sees a four-leafed clover and recalls the moment he spent with her, so he is determined to get her back. That evening, Rentaro discusses his plan to sneak into the mansion and rescue Hakari. The girls express their doubts due to Hakari's wealth and influence, but Rentaro is determined to make Hakari happy, willing to risk everything. The girls, moved by his resolve, decide to join him despite the danger. Rentaro tries to dissuade them, but their love for Hakari and him is unwavering, and they are determined to save her together. They all go to the mansion, and Rentaro's plan to throw a ball to get Hakari's attention fails. They chase after the ball, which a cat takes to Nano. She suggests disabling it with a kick, but Rentaro stops her. They hide from a guard, and Nano unlocks the pet door using rocks with precise aim, injuring her thumb in the process. Inda treats her wound. Inside the mansion, they encounter a guard dog. Shizuka is left behind, but the dog licks her instead of attacking. Nano explains that dogs protect weak creatures, and Shizuka is so weak that the dog forgets its duty. Kusuri offers a potion to put the dog to sleep, but Shizuka drinks it by mistake. The dog licks the drug from her, however, becoming drowsy. They enter a corridor, and the cat joins them, triggering an alarm. The guards rush to the location, but they manage to hide, and the guards take the cat, realizing that it tripped the sensors. Nano thinks they won't make it past the corridor because they will need infrared goggles to avoid triggering the alarm. However, Kusuri reveals that she brought infrared vision eye drops and Rentaro decides to use them. She explains that he will see nothing but the sensors while under its effect. Inda tells her that she dropped an envelope, and Nano notes that it's addressed to a foreign research team, realizing that she was planning to send the eye drops as an attachment to her application. Rentaro's eyes reveal sensors blocking their path. Nano suggests pairing up to reach an opening near the ceiling. Inda, tied to Rentaro, synchronizes her movements with his. As they navigate the sensors, their closeness affects Inda, especially when Rentaro's head presses against her belly. Despite the distraction, they successfully reach the end of the corridor. They are able to reach the other side, and Rentaro tells the others to wait for them outside. They see Hakari's room and open the door, seeing her looking at their group picture. At that moment, the alarm is triggered as Rentaro realizes they shouldn't have opened the door. They realize they're surrounded by the guards and are taken to Hakari, who tells them that she won't dispose of them because they're Hakari's friends. Rentaro vows to make Hakari happy, but Hahari is skeptical. She reveals that she had Hakari at 13 through artificial insemination, fearing her lover's impending death. She believes Hakari might repeat her reckless behavior for love. Having raised Hakari alone, she understands the pain of loss and wants to spare her daughter that suffering. Hahari insists Rentaro stay away, believing he can't bring Hakari true happiness. Hahari's story makes Rentaro cry, saying he doesn't want Hakari to suffer like she did. At that moment, the effect of the eye drop wears off, allowing him to see Hahari, and as their eyes meet, they feel the shocking sensation as he realizes she is also one of his soulmates. Hahari instantly falls in love with him, asking him to go out with her. Inda sees him considering it, so she reminds him that Hahari is Hakari's mother. Hahari explains that she was just joking, however, telling him that she will never allow his relationship with Hakari to continue. However, he tells her that he will never give up because he wants to make Hakari happy. Hahari doesn't believe him, so she brings out a lie detector, saying it should be able to reveal how unfaithful he is. Rentaro doesn't trust it, so they decide to try it on Inda, as Hahari explains that he won't be convinced if she uses it on her man. She asks Inda about her cup size, and she says that she almost has 8 cups, but the lie detector reveals that she's lying. As Hahari explains that it can detect even the slightest lie, Inda says that she's a 6 cup, but it still says she's lying, so she becomes upset, admitting that she only has 5 cups, and it confirms that she's telling the truth. Hahari struggles with the lie detector, initially failing to convince it of her love for Rentaro. Once she sincerely expresses her feelings, the machine confirms her truthfulness, and Rentaro recovers from his devastation. He tests the machine with his feelings for Inda, which it confirms as true. Hahari, now believing in the machine, asks about his feelings for Hakari. Rentaro affirms his commitment to making Hakari happy, even willing to die for her, which the lie detector confirms as true. Hahari can't believe that he's faithful to his girlfriends, knowing that he has 5 of them, and she explains that she doesn't trust the result. At that moment, a maid arrives, saying Hakari is about to take her own life. Inda threatens to break Hahari's neck, and Rentaro panics, thinking she's serious, but she tells him to save Hakari, saying she will wait for him to return for her. He runs off as Hahari tries to break free, but Inda stops her, saying she's doing this for Hakari. Rentaro finds Hakari about to jump off a building. He urges her to escape with him, but she fears the consequences. She doesn't want him to be unhappy, but he professes his love, unwilling to live without her. As she falls, he catches her, refusing to let go despite the danger. They land safely in a fountain after Rentaro kicks off the wall, avoiding a fatal impact. The girls rush to them, but Shizuka is about to drown, so Kusuri saves her, wondering what she was thinking. Hahari is glad to see that they're okay, realizing that Rentaro is willing to risk his life to save Hakari after all, so she concludes that he's a man of his word. She tells him to take care of Hakari, and he realizes that she was risking everything to protect her daughter, so he thinks that she's a great person. He promises to make Hakari happy, but tells Hahari that he also wants her to be happy, and agrees to go out with her. The girls freak out, realizing that she likes Rentaro, but she explains that she can't help it because she finds him incredibly attractive. The girls take a bath together and start comparing their chests, but Inda knows that she's no match for them, so she decides to retreat. She sees Rentaro in their room, but he tells her that her belly is visible, and she recalls the time when he rubbed his head against it. She accuses him of doing it intentionally, but he tells her that he was worried about her, so he had to do everything to prevent her from falling. However, she tells him that she was embarrassed, so she wants to get back at him. She puts her head on his belly and enjoys the moment, but Kusuri suddenly joins them, so they pretend they were doing push-ups. Hahari invites everyone to a pajama party, telling the girls to get dressed, as Hakari explains that her mother likes to dress people up. Rentaro sees them wearing pajamas, thinking they all look amazing. Kusuri and Shizuka kiss him, and he feels like he's going to heaven, but Hahari's nose starts bleeding, so he assists her, helping her walk around the mansion. She tells him that she's too old to get excited, but he tells her that they can have fun together, and she tells him that she can't hold it back anymore, inviting him to go to her room. They return to the girls, and Inda notes the long wait for Rentaro and Hahari. Hakari grows nervous, and they hear Hahari scream. Rushing to her, they find Rentaro dressed as a girl, with Hahari screaming about his cuteness. Rentaro collapses, and the girls panic. Hahari instructs Nano to dress as a prince and kiss Rentaro, waking him up. The girls decide to watch Rentaro bathe, driven by curiosity. Shizuka tries to stop them, but is restrained. They sneak up to a window where Kusuri is already watching, but she can't see clearly. Rentaro hears noises and sees Kusuri's silhouette, mistaking her for a ghost. Kusuri tells the girls their plan failed and they pull her up, realizing they need a new strategy. Hahari suggests using the attic, but the girls fear a mouse inside. Rentaro feels haunted by their whispers. Meanwhile, Shizuka, worried about Rentaro, rolls away and tumbles down the staircase, freeing herself from her restraints. Rentaro finds Hakari in the bathroom, initially mistaking her for a ghost. His towel slips, causing her to faint. He discovers the girls hiding, their intentions obvious. Later, Rentaro joins Hahari in prayer for Hakari's father and inquires why she never pursued another relationship after his passing. She reveals that she's still in love with him, saying she has no right to love another man, but she tells Rentaro that she's in love with him, thinking it's not right. However, he explains that she can love more than one man as long as her feelings are real. She tells him to kiss her as she recalls Hakari's father, who told her to save her first kiss for the man who will never leave her. Rentaro kisses her as she becomes emotional, thinking about Hakari's father. That night, as everyone is sleeping in one room, Hakari approaches Rentaro as Indo wonders what she's doing. Rentaro wakes up, and Hakari tells him that she just wants to sleep next to him, saying she was afraid that she would never be with him again. He kisses her, telling her that everything is going to be okay, and she's overjoyed to hear this, telling him to hold her until the sun rises. However, after some time, Rentaro wakes up and sees Hakari making out with Inda, who thinks that she's Rentaro. He makes his way to the bathroom but sees Hakari's father, who is upset because he took both Hahari and Hakari from him. Rentaro seizes the chance to speak with Hakari's father. Unafraid, he explains that Hahari's love for him is why he isn't scared. He vows to make both Hahari and Hakari happy, revealing he's been watching over them for 16 years. Hakari's father thanks Rentaro for opening Hahari's heart and expressing gratitude for Rentaro's presence. A bright light envelops him as he expresses his readiness to pass on, his soul finally at peace. The next day, Rentaro and the girls go to school, and during the assembly, they are surprised to see that Hahari has become the new chairperson, ensuring that she'll be able to see Rentaro every day. During their lunch break, Rentaro goes to Hahari's mansion, but realizes she isn't there. He rushes to the rooftop and sees her with the other girls, realizing they're all waiting for him. They declare their love for him, and he joins them, promising to make them all happy. Thanks so much for watching today's recap. You have no idea how much your support means to our channel. And if you want to see more of it, remember, subscribe and ding that notification bell so you know exactly when the new stuff comes out. Thanks so much, and we'll talk to you next time. Bye.